I want to do something a little different today. Most of my videos are concrete advice like how to get into tech, how to negotiate your offer, or where to apply. This one is more of a conversation. It's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I think a lot of you will relate to it even if you're not in the exact same situation. I'm Chase, a software engineer at Meta, yet I'm sitting here genuinely questioning whether or not I want to keep doing this. Not because the job is terrible, but because I've started asking a different question. Not am I successful, but am I free? And those two things are not the same. So let me be honest about why I'm in tech to begin with. I want to be upfront about something that I've mentioned before on this channel because it's relevant to everything that I'm about to say. I personally am not one of those people who is genuinely passionate about programming. I don't go home and read new books about frameworks for fun. I'm not staying up late excited about Rust or debating the best design patterns. Those people do exist, and I genuinely respect them, but that's not me. I got into tech for the ROI, a high salary that's straight out of undergrad with no grad school required. That was the pitch that was sold to me, and it was accurate. And now that's not a shameful thing to admit either. It's just the truth. And I think a lot more people in tech do feel this way than are actually willing to say it out loud. The job to me is a means to an end. The end to me is ultimately financial freedom, and I've been executing on that plan, aggressively saving, investing, keeping my expenses low, because I always knew that the goal wasn't to work in big tech forever. The goal was to use big tech to buy my freedom. Now, I have over $1 million in net worth and I'm in my 20s, and that's not me flexing, it's context for what I'm about to say. It only happened because I kept my lifestyle modest while my income was high and I invested the difference consistently. Most people who get a high-tech salary immediately inflate their lifestyle to match it, and that's exactly how you stay on the treadmill forever. I did not do that, and now I'm in a position where I have real options. So here's what that number actually means in practice. By the 4% rule, the standard retirement withdrawal rate, $1 million does generate around $40,000 a year. Now that's not luxury money, but it is real money, especially if you're flexible about where you live and how you spend. Now I know a lot of people say that $1 million isn't enough anymore and that your financial independence number needs to be much higher, but ultimately it depends on you, and this is largely a conversation about your spending habits and the cost of living of the area that you live in. And yeah, only $40,000 a year, that's not going to be luxury money, but it is real money, especially if you're going to be flexible about where you live or how you spend. More importantly, it does mean that a corporate job is no longer the only way to survive, and once something is no longer your only option, you start looking at it differently. So the real problem with a 9-to-5 is actually not the work. People think the problem with the corporate job is the work itself, but it's not. The real problem is time. The bare minimum is going to be 40 hours a week with a 9-to-5, and it's usually more. You don't just lose those hours, you lose the best hours of your day. By the time you're done with work, done with the commute, done with the basic errands and admin of being a functioning adult, what is going to be left for you? Maybe a few hours in the evening where you're tired, and then a weekend that goes by way faster than it should. And even if you have the privilege of working remotely, you're still not entirely free. You still have to be available at specific times, you still have a manager that you're accountable to, you still have to ask permission, implicitly or explicitly, to structure your own day. You'll also have to deal with meetings that exist for no reason, where one person is talking and 20 people are literally dying an hour at a time. I don't want to be managed, not because I'm difficult, but because I've started to realize that the most valuable thing I have isn't my salary, it's my time. And a job by definition is a structure where someone else controls a massive chunk of it. There's really 4 different types of wealth, and there's one that nobody optimizes for. People think that being wealthy just means having money, but I think about it differently. There's actually 4 types of wealth: money, time, freedom, and health. Most people in high-paying careers have one of the 4. They have money, but they're working so hard for it that they're sacrificing the other 3. Their time is gone, they don't have real freedom, and the stress and sedentary lifestyle erodes their health over time. The goal shouldn't just be to maximize money, the goal really should be to optimize across all 4. Enough money so that it's not a constraint, enough time so that you control your day, and enough freedom so that you're not handcuffed to anyone's schedule or agenda, and finally, enough health to actually enjoy the first 3. When you're early in your career and you're broke, money is the constraint, so you optimize for it. That's rational, and that's what I did. But there's a point where you have enough money that optimizing for more of it has diminishing returns. And the smarter move is to start trading money for the other 3. And I think I'm approaching that point. And by the way, if you want the exact resume template I used to get hired at Meta, click the first link in the description and I'll send it to you for free. But for now, let's get back to the video. Now, I'm not going to pretend that YouTube can replace a big tech salary. It doesn't. but there are things about it that a salary literally can't offer. The income isn't linear. I'm not trading hours for dollars at a fixed rate. A video that performs well earns more, but a video that doesn't earns less. And that variability is actually something that I find motivating rather than scary. There's also no boss. There's nobody who tells me what to make, when to post, or how to spend my day. Really, the only accountability is to the audience, and that's a fundamentally different relationship than being managed. The other thing is there's also no layoffs. I've watched what's happened at Meta, Amazon, and dozens of other tech companies over the last few years. When a company decides to cut costs, your job is literally a line item. YouTube won't lay you off. The schedule is also genuinely mine. I can work at 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. I can take a week off without a PTO request. I can structure my day around my energy instead of around a calendar that somebody else controls. And the thing that I personally think about the most is that every video that I make is technically a permanent digital asset. It lives on the internet and generates views and revenue while I'm asleep, while I'm traveling, or while I'm at the gym. That's what I mean by permissionless leverage. I don't need YouTube's permission to publish, and once something is out there, it works for me without me having to show up. There's no other job structure that I know of that works that way. So what does this all mean practically? To be honest, I'm still figuring it out. One option is staying at Meta and keeping the financial runway growing while YouTube builds in the background. Another option is stepping back to something part-time or contract, maybe keeping some income without the full 40-plus work hour commitment. Another option is stepping away entirely and betting on the content business and whatever else I want to build. I really haven't made that decision yet, but what I do know is that I'm not going to work a corporate job until 65 just because that's what you're supposed to do. That model has never made sense to me, and it made sense when people didn't have options, but I do have options. And what I also know is that the version of success that I'm optimizing for isn't a bigger house or a nicer car. It's just a Tuesday where I decide what I do with my time. That's literally it. That's the goal. So what does this mean for you? Well, I'm sharing all of this because I think a lot of people watching this are in some version of the situation, or want to be. You got into tech for the money, not the passion, and that's completely fine. You're saving aggressively because you know that the salary is a tool, not the destination, and you're starting to think about what comes after the corporate phase, not retirement in the traditional sense, but something different. So the things I'd leave you with is you want to optimize for the 4 types of wealth, not just the one that shows up in your bank account. The goal of the high salary is to buy your freedom, not to fund a lifestyle that keeps you trapped. Time freedom is worth it more than most people realize until they don't have it. You want to build assets that work without you, whether that's investments, content, a business, something that doesn't require you to show up every single day. And you want to get to the number where you have real options as fast as you can, because having options changes how you see everything. So that's where my head is at right now, and I know this is different from my usual videos, but I think it's an honest conversation that's worth having, especially for people in tech who got in for the right reasons and are now starting to ask what comes next. If you want to take the next step towards getting to that number yourself, click that first link in the description and grab the exact resume template I used to get hired at Meta. It's completely free, and getting into a high-paying role is still step 1 of this whole plan. And if you're not ready for that yet, I highly recommend watching the video on screen next, where I break down exactly how I built a 7-figure net worth, because the financial foundation is what makes everything else I talked about today actually possible. Thanks for watching, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.